No care, nobody about it, you know, like nobody about it. I care about them, that's what I'm doing. I care about them, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Well, my kids, my family members. Yeah. But come on, man. You want me to get the violin out? Come on, man. Have you guys got a violin here? Come on, man.
This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story is about a man from Blackburn that has been shot dead in Texas. It sounds quite bizarre to even understand how a man from Blackburn arrived in Texas, but hopefully by the end of this video you will have a really good idea of what happened. The man has been identified by American police, and there have been several more arrests in the UK that I will speak about shortly as well.
Zoom, and we began to get information that a gunman had entered the synagogue and taken 4 individuals hostage.
The FBI has said that the gunman that took 4 hostages was 44-year-old Malik Faisal Akram from Blackburn. He was killed in a shooting incident after the FBI entered the building at the Congregation Beth Israel in Colleyville, Texas on Saturday. Nobody except the gunman was harmed during the incident. The police were first called at 11 AM and it ended with the release of the final hostages at 9 PM. The reason the police were able to identify that it was a British person that was in the building was due to the fact that the prayer was being live streamed on Facebook and he was heard in a very distinctive Blackburn accent. The suspect was shot dead when police entered the synagogue after all of the hostages were released. The Foreign Office confirmed that the suspect is British. And one of the hostages was released 6 hours into the 10-hour standoff before FBI SWAT teams entered the building at around 9 PM and the 3 others were released unharmed. FBI Special Agent in charge Matt DeSarno said earlier there was no immediate indication that the man had any connections to a broader plan, but the agency's investigation will have a global reach, and a spokesperson for the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office said at the time that they was aware that there was a British person in Texas and they are in contact with the local authorities. The hostage taker was earlier demanding the release of Afiya Siddiqui, a Pakistani neuroscientist suspected of having ties to Al-Qaeda, and she was convicted of trying to kill US military officers while she was in custody. The FBI would not release the information about his identity on Saturday night. It was later confirmed by UK media who he was. In the minutes leading up to Akram's death, his head was seen popping out of the door and he chased some of the hostages with a gun. The President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, praised the courage and courageous work of everybody that was involved in the rescue situation. A statement was posted on the Blackburn Muslim community page, and it stated that Faisal Akram had sadly departed from this temporary world and returned to his creator. He was the son of Muhammad Malik Akram and the brother of Gulbar Malik Nassar Yasser and the late Gulzamia. They went on to say that may the Almighty forgive him for all his sins and bless him with the highest ranks of paradise. A statement by his family said that it was with great sadness that they confirmed their brother had passed away in Texas, and they was absolutely devastated. They was helping the FBI with the investigation, and they was actually trying to negotiate with Faisal to try to get him to leave the synagogue without hurting himself or anybody else. The FBI arrived in the UK a day later, and they said their priority is to try to find out if anybody else was working with Faisal. And the latest developments in relation to this story is that 2 teenagers were arrested in Manchester yesterday after the British man was murdered in Texas. Malik was originally from Blackburn in Lancashire and he was shot dead by the FBI. Greater Manchester Police said on Sunday that the counter-terrorism police in North West had made 2 arrests in South Manchester, and they said there was teenagers whose ages and genders have not been confirmed and they remain in custody for questioning. So it's a very brief statement on the latest arrest in the UK, and this is very early days, so this could literally just be an inquiry or a formality. It doesn't necessarily mean that these 2 people have anything to do with what happened in Texas. In some more reporting from the UK from the Manchester Evening News, it was revealed that Malik was investigated by MI5 in 2020 after they received intelligence. But when the investigation finished, they said that he was not a threat. It was also revealed that he'd received an exclusion order in the Blackburn area He told a magistrate court usher that you should have been on the plane, which definitely raises the question of how somebody with a criminal record and also had been on MI5's terror list was able to travel to Texas and be able to obtain a gun and go through and took 4 people hostage. It was later revealed that the rabbi that was in the actual synagogue at the time threw a chair at the gunman that allowed people to run away and escape. He thought that Akram had arrived at the synagogue for shelter and they offered him a cup of tea. He spoke to American TV and said it was terrifying and I was overwhelmed and we're still processing what occurred. The rabbi told the press that he heard a click of the gun and this is when he realised that the situation had escalated. It was revealed that Malik had flew to America 2 weeks earlier and he was actually going through homeless shelters. And his brother said to the papers that he didn't understand how he was able to get a visa and acquire a gun. So this is a really interesting story and it is still early days as well, so I'm sure a lot of different developments will occur. But as it stands right now, the terror threat in the UK has not increased and the FBI are not looking for anybody else in relation to this story. So I really appreciate you joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Follow me online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok and Twitter. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.